Welcome. I am your brother, Freedom B. Rose. I'm back. You're back. Let's get into it. This is the way forever. And I'm back, and I want to get right into it. I want to explain exactly what it is. The way forever is. You can find it in two places. You can find it in Deuteronomy chapter 5. But we're going to actually read what is the way forever and how does it pertain to what it is I'm doing here. The way forever is the foundation of the kingdom. And I want to go right into it before we get into our into our lesson that we're gonna be talking about. So go with me to Exodus chapter 20. And what you're going to find here is you're going to find we're here at the 10 Commandments. And as I said, this is the foundation of the kingdom. As you have in every country in the world, through the current times, through the past times, every other country has had a documentation of which they stand by, which they build their power off of. Well, the kingdom of God is the prototype. As we'll see here, God lays down very firmly exactly what it is that is the foundation of His kingdom, and it's pretty much a layer effect that you can pretty much say that every commandment of the 10 Commandments is built upon the one before it. So in the beginning, as we read, we're going to see the everything forever in the kingdom of God is built upon the first commandment of the 10 Commandments. And after the 10 Commandments come all the statutes and commands that are given to us to live by. So this relates to when you read the verse and it says that God would rather have obedience than sacrifice. Speaking to the understanding that, here at the end of 2018, while I'm making this video with you guys, currently there are those of you that live in America. There are those of you that live by American standards. There are those of you that pledge to the flag. There are those of you that consider Donald Trump to be your leader. There are those like me that live in the kingdom of God. There are those like me that are like you, that are waking up, that are saying, no, God is my king. But with what comes with this is the documentation of knowing the law that you live by, knowing the lifestyle that you take on when you say that. And this is what God commands. So let's read these right quick, and then we want to get into today's lesson. So it says here, chapter 20, it says, and the Lord spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image of any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water below the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor, and in all thine work, 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thine work, but in the Sabbath day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, and in it thou shalt not do any work, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manslave, nor thy maidservant, nor thine cattle, nor the stranger that is within thine gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that is within them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, nor shalt thou covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoked. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar back. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, that we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, nor shall thou make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shall sacrifice therefore thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all the places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewed stone. For if thou lift up thine tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps upon thine altar, that thy nakedness be uncovered therefore. Now, when your brother Freedom says, this is the way forever, this chapter is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the core of the kingdom that God is providing for us, that God is manifesting for us. I say that because truly the scriptures tell us that in the end it's going to look like the beginning. When we wake up, as we're going to get in today, with the Song of Moses, as we wake up, what we're coming back to is not just these lifeless acts of, doing things or doing actions. We're coming back to a significant understanding that was given to our ancestors a long time ago. And the beautiful thing is about it is that the way forever is to graft in mankind, to lead mankind by being obedient to God. That's the way forever. That's simply what it is I'm here for. And that's simply what it is you're here for. That's simply what it is we're instilling into this world, is that the way forever is God's way. God's way is above our ways. Truly. Is it not evident to us already? Have we not gone far enough down, man's way for us to see clearly that the end of this is, come on, it's already ending. It's already crumbling. There's many of you coming to this video that can attest just hearing these words. There's a couple of things I can think of right now that I just would like to see change. Right? Right. And I'm not no different. The Spirit of God is in us already. He's waking us up. There's no reason why you have non-believers out in the street protesting. And now we're going to go into politics. Let's go into politics. It's politics for a sec. We can talk. We family. You got non-believers wanting freedom. You got non-believers wanting peace. Let's talk about these groups out here. Let's talk about all this hate and racism. It's just a tool of the enemy. It's just another distraction. It's just really another road people is really trying to run to have a voice in something, to express some kind of frustration that they holding on to, some kind of frustration that's been instilled in them. God, listen. God is stirring this thing up so you'll wake up. He's stirring this thing just so you'll wake up. Foolish people get so angry with God. I know there's been times where I have in my life I wanted to be upset. I wanted to have some type of anger towards my Creator. Why me? Why am I going through this? Why is this so bad? Why is this happening, God? It's in the scriptures. Truly. There ain't nothing new under the sun. When you looking at, I can name, look, Jonah. Jonah was a prophet. Jonah didn't want to go do his duty. He ran from God. He was trying to run from it. He was angry. He was tight. He felt some type of way. Right? But I say all that to say that, we're going to get into this, is that God is truly, he's letting us go down man's path long enough for us to get down the road and look, man, it's dead end. Where's the way? Where's the path I'm supposed to be on? This ain't it. It's a dead end. Right? Come on. You think about the money system of the world here that's trying to, enslave us all and chase that check. Make us think we all need to just get money. And one day you realize, man, since about 40, 50 years ago, we've been just using paper money with no backing. Those type of things is God's just, see, when you get the understanding that God is he's just breaking your will to say, see, money, see how I just broke that apart for you? That ain't your God. That's not the answer. Truly, you can use money for a good purpose. God wants 10% of your tithe. God wants 10%. The way. He wants it. He ain't did nothing but loan it to you anyway. That success that you got, he ain't did nothing but just give it to you just to see what you're gonna do with it anyway. 10%, But let's go forward because it's a lot we could talk about. I like to give a little bit of little bit of family talk, little family business. We sitting down at the dinner table just talking. We can talk about these things. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new. So I don't have no stress about it. I might feel differently about it, I know. But I do this because I do this for the Jew and the Gentile. I do this for Judah. I do this for Benjamin. I do this I do this for Naphtali. I do this for all my brothers and sisters out there that are in the house of Israel. But more importantly, I do this for those that are coming in to the family. And I want them to see this is family talk here. You invited. You invited. You invited back. You invited back to the truth. It's an open door here. It's some rules and some regulations as we just read that we live by. This is a house of love. This is a house for all people. And that's not just coming from me. That's coming from God. So, as an Israelite, I also do this because I realize I'm killing the voice of the other side when I do this. There's a lot of crookedness. There's a lot of guys that might look like me somewhere that's giving you a different message. Right? But I'm killing that. I'm destroying that. God's work that he's done when he moves. Listen, as we gonna get into right now, I don't need to put my hand on that. My purpose is to bring you in. For those that's just waking up, my purpose is not to discourage you. My purpose is to enhance you and to enrich you. So come with me, and we're gonna talk. Last time I came to you, I was coming from Deuteronomy 31, and at this point Moses was getting the word from God that your time is about up, Moses. You served me. You messed up along the way. You listen. Not going to go into this promised land with your people, but at the same time, I'm gonna speak to you, and I want you to give these people this song, and it's called the Song of Moses, and that goes into Deuteronomy 32, the Song of Moses. But what I want to get into here is that the Song of Moses is actually it's a layered prophecy. It's layered because it speaks to two. It speaks to two or three. It speaks to multiple situations, but it speaks to both sides. It speaks to two sides because it's speaking to the people, and at the same time it's speaking to the nations. It's speaking to those that are for God, and at some point you're going to see that he's also speaking to those that despise God. Right? It's speaking to those that go and believe, hey, being obedient to God's law is the way forever. And is speaking to those that say, no, you don't have to believe in what God says. You can just have some type of grace experience and it's all taken care of. So listen, let's go right into it. All right. I want to give you a little something from 31 because I want to get a little backdrop of where we came in from. It says here, it says in chapter 31, verse 21, it says, it shall come to pass when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as witness, and it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. Man, That's speaking to you. That's speaking to all of us. Because the fact is where we stand at in this verse in Deuteronomy 31 and 32, we're looking at a generation that is going into the promised land when the actual last generation just died out. Only two people came along out of those people that originally came, besides Moses, you know, Caleb and Joshua. Caleb was the one who was the one of the spies that when they went to seek the land out the first time, everybody else came back and said, man, it's giants in that land. We ain't gonna go in there and dominate. God, listen, we was better off in Egypt, being in slavery, right? Caleb said, listen, man, if God be for us, who's against us? He spoke with wisdom. He spoke with faith and wisdom. He spoke with an enriched mind. God rewarded him. He said, surely you said you're going to go into the land. And you have Joshua, of course. Joshua is taking the charge from Moses. He's stepping into leadership. He served in second command all this time. And now God is promoting him, say, okay, it's your time now, Joshua. You're going to lead this whole multitude in. And you're going to see me work through you, just like I worked through Moses. So we're standing, and as I said in the last video, we're at a high peak. We're at a peak. We're at the apex here. Early on, before we get into a lot of other stuff, you know what I mean? This is one of the early peaks that you just see, like, where they're at the apex of seeing some things. But even at their apex, we're still dealing with the things that we're dealing with today, where there is false gods. There is, a people here that have been shown the mercy of God, the grace of God, the works of God. Man, so much. They walk through the Red Sea, and it says they walked through dry land. I mean, all the moisture was actually sucked out of the sea, and they walking through like on a hot, sunny day on the beach when you ain't even got close to the water yet. Had the sand be hot on your feet and be just dry. They walk through like that. So yeah. So but I say that because look at that word. That word, you can put a highlight on that word. It says, this song shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know the imagination which they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swore. So look at that prophecy on that. How it's saying that God is saying, before you get into this promised land, I promised it to you. I'm giving it to you. Where you stand at is promised land. You coming into promised land. But at the same time, that's prophecy, because now he's saying generations are going to pass, and at some point they're going to start falling off. And then after those generations die off, as you've already seen, your seed is going to wake up. We waking up, man. We waking up. And so I'm going to go into Deuteronomy 32. It's a lot more in 31 too, because God is telling Moses, listen, they're gonna fall off, and Moses is responding by telling the people, listen, I know y'all gonna fall off because y'all been falling off already. The golden calf, see, falling off. So all that extra stuff, and you know what's crazy about that is that Aaron even said, these be your gods. This is the God that brought you out of Egypt. And he had a golden calf. And they said we're going, even some Bibles And I'm paraphrasing, but some Bibles, I believe, they even said that's how they was going to serve God. Like they were going to serve the God that came out by making a statue of him. And then now we're going to just start worshiping him. Why? Because Moses ain't around. It's taking too long. So we're going to fall off. Ain't that crazy? How that's prophetic to the day, you know? And you got so many different versions of this. Even you got a whole nother book attached to this that tries to make you believe that you should just go into something else. Let's go into 32 because this thing gets good, because this right here is the Song of Moses. This song is prophetic because it speaks to the day, you know, and that's what I'm pretty much getting to. And so let's go. So we're going to start at verse 1. It says, "Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth." So Moses here in the verse is making it very clear. You know who's going to stand witness against you? The creation itself. Heaven and earth itself is going to stand witness to what I'm about to give you. Now and for your seed and for today, wherever you are. It says, verse 2, it says, "My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew. As a small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Also I will publish the name of the Lord, and ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock. His work is perfect, and all his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, and just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Do ye this requite the Lord? O foolish people and unwise, is it not he, thou father, that have brought thee? Has he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old, and consider the years of many generations. Ask thou father, and he will show thee, thou elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in a waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, and he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, and fluttereth over her young, and spreadeth abroad. Read that again. As the eagle stirreth up her nest, and fluttereth over her young, and spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, and beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. That's verse 12. There was no strange God with him. It's God alone. He's making it very clear. Verse 13, it says, he made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increases of the field. He made him suck the honey out of the rock, and oil of the flinty rock, butter of the kine, milk of the sheep, with the fat of the lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and the goats, with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and thou didst drink it, the pure blood of the grape. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxed fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Lord which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. God is saying, I gave you these blessings. I've made a way for you. But I started blessing you, and now you starting to turn your back on me? No. That's what he means by calling his people a perverse and crooked generation. He's saying, see, this all had to play out because see, I know the end from the beginning. So as soon as I start blessing you, there's gonna be a point and period of time where y'all gonna get blessed. There's so much world history on this thing, man. But the people are gonna be blessed for a while. They're gonna have this land that I give to them. I'm gonna give it to them. He said, but along the way, watch what I'm going to happen. Now I'm going to start prophesying to you. When you get fat, there's going to be a generation or generations among you that y'all going to go through where you're going to start falling off. And watch what he says. Watch what the response is of him already telling you what you're going to do, or already telling what's going to happen to these generations when they start to fall off. He said, and they lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, and with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom thy fathers feared not. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the God that formed thee. Isn't that devastating just to read? Just for it to be so plain and clear like that. To see Moses here, this great leader, going away, prophetically speaking, that you will be blessed, but look how you're going to do God along the way. You're going to provoke him to anger. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful, and have forgotten the God that formed thee. And when God saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters, and said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very forward nation, people, children in whom is no faith. Gotta come back to true faith. You gotta come back to true faith. It's the way forever. It is. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those that are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hells, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and shall set fire the foundations of the mountains. It's 2018, man. I'm just gonna take a stop here, man. Look at verse 22 again. Set fire to the foundations of the mountains. Isn't it crazy how this stuff is really happening in the earth right now? How you read that verse and you really think that in the state of California is really like an unstoppable fire in a mountainous area. Come on. I don't even need to say too much on that, man. Look at that. We know what we know what we've been doing. We know about gay pride movement. How that's just open abomination in the face of God. It shouldn't offend you, because the thing is when you think about the fact that there's truly, really an unstoppable wildfire in the state of California right now. Who's tripping? Am I tripping? Are you going to be tripping when you stand with God? Because God is telling you, listen, I move nature against you. You want to see some? You want to see wrath? You want to see how mad I am? Take a look. Let's keep going. I will reap mischiefs upon them. I will send mine arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat. And with bitter destruction, I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust, the sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man, the virgin, the suppliant, also the man of gray hairs. I said I would scatter them into corners. Now watch this. God's been talking about what he gonna do in the face of this turning against him. So he's talking to his. He's talking to his. He's talking to the ones he's already claimed. You know, it's like a mirror effect. He's talking to him, saying, "Listen, okay, cool. You gonna turn your back on me? Cool. I'll show you what I do. I'm gonna take a people like I took you, and then I'm gonna turn them on you like you turned on me. As I took you and I blessed you, now I'm gonna take somebody else and I'm gonna use them to curse you. You see how that flow like that? Now watch this. This is the part though. Watch this. Let's go back. Verse 26. I said I will scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from amongst men. Were it not that I fear the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries shall behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord have not done this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Now, who's God's talk? Who is God talking to now? Huh? Let that marinate for a minute, man. That's a highlighted verse, cause now we going somewhere else. Verse 29. For that they were wise, that they would understood this. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How shall one chase 1,000 and 2,000 put 10,000 to flight, except their God had sold them and the Lord had shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock. Even their enemies themselves be judges. What? This, man, I tell you, this book is solid and cold. This book ain't no secret, man. This is plain reading here. I didn't decode nothing. I didn't go and change and translate no wording or nothing. This is solid. It says their rock is not as our rock. Even their enemies themselves be judges. I'm saying, listen, I'm telling you what you up against. I'm gonna switch this thing on you so good, they gonna be judging you unrighteously. At the same time, to your generation, this generation is waking up. Man, even the system is crazy out here. Even how people just getting killed by the police is crazy enough. And then you think about it, they don't even get the sentencing that would obviously be righteous. We ain't even went into Leviticus where it tell you eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We ain't even talking about that. We ain't go that far yet. We just getting started, man. But this is the way forever, because it's letting you know. What's that verse say? Verse 31. It says clearly, their rock is not as our rock. So you see, Moses is still the leader. He's still champion God in the eyes of these people. He's saying, listen, hold on. I'm not leaving you with nothing. I'm leaving you with a beautiful message. Their rock is not as our rock. And I'm foretelling you, even our enemies themselves be judges. Even as you see judges sitting high on these booths and all black and they got the robes on hitting the gavel and, you know what I mean, talking all crazy and throwing these sentences, don't worry. All it is y'all, when y'all wake up to the truth, some things gonna start turning around. You're gonna realize I got power over all that. That's what God is saying. He said, well, don't worry, you're gonna go through this. But I'm gonna foretell it. Yeah, they gonna be judges. But they look, their rock is not as our rock. Let's keep going. For their vine is the vine of the vine, for their vine is of the vine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are the grapes of gall. Excuse me. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asp. Is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among my treasures? That's devastating. As hard as y'all want to go, as hard as y'all want to take it, as much hate in the world as want to be pushed on God's people and those that's living for righteousness and those that's living for peace and those that's championed for God and giving true word. As much as y'all want to be despiteful and be mean and be violent, you know, all this hate, you know, okay. Who made all those things? who made all those things? Who's the originator? You want to talk about weapons of war? You want to talk about, you know what I mean? Come on, who's the originator in this thing? You really think you got something against God? No. I know some of y'all might know that, you know, some of that hip hop stuff, you know what I mean? The hip hop stuff. You know, what do you say? The arm's too short to box with God. It's not right there. Huh? Their venom. Say. Their wine is the poison of dragons. The cruel venom of asp. Is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among my treasures? So, what? This is treasure for me, you know. Huh? I do that. God said I do that. I can do that too. I'm gonna do it a lot harder to you because you doing it to my people. He's talking to the enemy. And at the same time, he's giving you something to stand on. He's giving you something. He's giving you. Let's keep going. I don't want to overtalk the Song of Moses because this is his prophet, his last words. To me, verse 35. What we just say? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slip in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand. You waking up? Okay, I'm on clock too. I'm doing something on the other side too. You waking up? You getting the truth? Okay, all right. Well, don't worry, because I'm on the other side. Those people that's against you, I'm doing something on their side too. It says right here. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the time of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people and repent himself from his for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. And he saith, where are their gods, their rock whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection. Who did he talk to? He said, and he shall say, this is verse 37. I'm getting a little, I told you, man, this thing gets hot. That fire is truly shut up in my bones because I feel that. I understand looking at the world, looking at this world and how you just watch the news for 10 minutes, you just frustrated. I understand where this is coming from. I understand how God has been orchestrating this thing from the beginning. He's clearly telling you this. Moses said, and he shall say, where are their gods, their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their offerings? He said, yeah, you've been given to them. They've been taken from them. They've been taken from them. They false gods that they serve. Oh yeah. The imagination in their mind, they've been serving them real good. But now where are they? Where is their rock? Where is it? Why haven't they changed something? Why it is they can't take my hand off of them? Why it is when I start moving, when the creator of heaven and the earth start moving on, nothing can stop me. Verse 31 told you. Revert back to verse 31, you'll see the answer. He says, their rock is not as our rock. Going back. And he shall say, where are their gods, their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. See now that even I am he, and there is no God with me. I will kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. God is great. God is powerful. God is mighty.